So we're live. Greetings, welcome back. This is Edward Ojambo. In this tutorial, we're going to review Eclipse, the IDE, as an advanced editor. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I appreciate all those people who have subscribed this month. Thank you very much. Okay, so Eclipse is an old IDE, has been around for a while. They do have different versions, and I'll explain what I mean by different versions. I'm more interested in the classic IDE for this particular tutorial. So basically what it is it's an integrated development environment, that's IDE. It's open source, it's very flexible, and can support multiple programming languages such as HTML5, JavaScript, CSS3, PHP, and Python, and obviously Java as well. But in this tutorial, I'm focusing more as for web development. That's HTML5 and PHP. A little bit of Python, but mostly just PHP and HTML5. So while Eclipse is associated with Java development, it can also be adapted to web development through plugins and downloads. Now, one of the things I used to dislike about Eclipse in the past was that you had to download the Java version, then you had to download all these plugins yourself, set them up, set up Xburger. Now that's why I moved over actually to their competitor like NetBeans, because I just download NetBeans, everything works just out of the box. I don't have to do anything at all. So it has improved a lot in a few years. It's actually pretty fast. We'll test that out in a few seconds. And I also want to mention some resources. I have my book Learning JavaScript and my course Learning JavaScript, both of them available on Amazon and ojamboshop.com respectively, and the links are also in the description. So why would you choose Eclipse for web development? It's cross-platform, meaning that you can install it on your Mac OS or Linux or Windows, and all you need is the Java installed on your system just to run it. That's all you need. Okay, it's open source. Okay, I've gone through that before. Obviously, it follows the Eclipse license, which is obviously one of those permissive licenses. In the past, Eclipse was also used for Android development. Google actually did maintain by themselves the little plugin you would get before they moved over to the JetBrains IDE, the Android Studio. So advanced features, it comes features as code completion, debugging tools, integrated version control, which can enhance your coding experience. So we're going to test out some of these things, and we're going to use the same testing suite we always do. So basically, the first thing you need to do, so I'm running it on Linux, so I'm more interested in the PHP version because that comes with everything I need for my web development needs. So you can download Eclipse IDE for PHP. This is the one you get to, and you get it on the official Eclipse website. That's Eclipse Downloads. So what you do is we go here. As you can see here, you go, actually I should probably tear this off. Let me tear this off. So you go to eclipse.org, you go to the downloads page. You see when you go to the downloads page, you're going to be presented with something like this. You see, you can click the download, but what I recommend you do is don't click the download button. Instead, what you do is click on download packages. So when you go to the download packages, you can see here they have an installer. At time of this recording is 2025 -06 space R, and that's obviously for Java. We're not interested in Java. You see this, what you need is actually need the JARE. That's a runtime environment, whether you're Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. Now it actually comes included with it, so you won't need that. You can just get everything with the installer and to install everything for you. However, as you can see, there are multiple different packages. The first one is obviously the most basic one. That's the one for the enterprise Java and web developers. As you can see, its size, it's about half a gig. I'm not interested in that one. You see, it comes with so many things here: TypeScript, Java, server, faces, YAML, Markdown, web services, etc., etc. I said I'm not interested in that one. And you can see this one is only for Java developers. You see the size; it's much smaller. There's one for C and C++, and there's one for committers. You see there's one for Java and DSL developers, and there's one for RCP and developers. Here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. This one, you see, this one is specifically made for PHP developers. So this is the one you download, and you can see it comes for Windows x86 64-bit, and also the ARM architecture 64-bit, Mac OS, and Linux as well. So for Linux, it also has one for the RISC or RISC processors, the 64-bit version. And you see there's other different models for there's different versions of Eclipse packages. So this is the one you download in order to follow along, and you can see it's much smaller, and it's actually pretty popular here. You can see how many downloads it had. Okay, so that's the one you get. Alright, so I don't need this anymore. I'm just gonna close that window. Alright, so I've already downloaded. You can see here it's 2025, just in case the internet, even though I'm doing a live stream, I'm also recording it just in case. So as you can see here, we have basically you download it, you put it anywhere you want, and you extract it. So I extracted it here, and it's pretty straightforward. You see there's a binary file. This is for Linux. Windows and Mac OS will be the same thing. So obviously I can, you see he also comes with an icon if I wanted to make a desktop file for Linux. I don't care too much about that because it's just a review. I want to make sure that it will pass my needs. So let's open it up. I just double click on this, and you can see Eclipse is starting up. And it's going to be a little bit slow because as I said, I'm also running OBS. OBS really wants all my graphics card and everything. So here we go. So as you can see, it creates one in my home folder, which is home/Edward. I create Eclipse workspace. That's perfectly fine. I'll just launch. Obviously, you can use it as a default, then it'll be faster next time it launches. So let's see how long it takes to launch. Will it be faster than NetBeans? We shall see. It should be, because this is the second time I'm running it. Yes, it's pretty fast. Now I've already made some changes. As you can see here, I've made some changes. Obviously, I used the dark theme. I'll show you how to do all that in a second. All right. So what else can we do here? Here I have instructions how to create a desktop shortcut if you're on Linux, and where to put the recommended place to put the file as well, and then how to launch it. And obviously, okay, so the first thing you need to do is in the old versions, or no matter what version you get, except obviously the PHP version, is if you got a wrong version, don't think you're totally messed up. You can install, it's called the PHP Development Tools, and you get them from the market. So what you do is you go to Help, and you see here you can do other things such as check for updates, install new software. So what you do here, you would go to install new software, or you can click on Marketplace. So you can open the Marketplace wizard. I'm just going to click on install new software. So you can see here, you can then you can add software that you have downloaded, for example, or you can click on manage, and you can see here it will go to the it will find the place. For example, you see here, oops, this is a little bit, let's break it down. Come on. Oh, I hate when it does that. It's a little tall, but it's up there. You can see. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Why? Come on, guys. Let me see. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I don't know why on this monitor it's always taller than it should be. So I guess I have to cancel that. So here we go. So you can see you can search for things here, and you'll be able to install it, especially if you download something you just want to put, if it's a new repository. So let's go to the marketplace, Eclipse Marketplace. This one should open up properly. Yes, it does. Then you can search for things in the marketplace, and you can see all markets. You can see here, for example, if you want to install the GitHub Copilot, the marketplace client, SV editor, and there's a lot of plugins. And you can also even browse for more. You can go by browsing. For example, the most popular ones here, the tab, as you can see, they're the same, and then the ones which are installed. So let's go to install and see what's installed. I don't think I've installed anything myself. I think that's what came with the PHP by default. As you can see here, these are installed. These are not installed, but these are available for installation. As you can see here, there's a different dark theme, and oh, that's popular. I want to go to installed. Sorry about that. So Eclipse Marketplace client, that's installed, and then you can also do research at Eclipse. So I don't really care about any of those. And you see here, this is a different marketplace. You can also there's the Eclipse one, and there's a different one. So I said I don't need any of those. But if you do, you can use. There's a lot of. You can also create your own add-ons as well. Okay. So with that said, so as I said, it already comes with the PHP version already comes with everything Beauty you need for HTML5, JavaScript, CSS3, and Python. You can install that if you need. So now that said, the one you want to search for is Web Developer Tools, and then install the Eclipse Web Developer Tool plugin. And then there might be multiple versions. For example, for PHP or Python, you pick the one you want. So as you can see, you can also start your own web project. In my case, I'm just doing testing, and some time has passed here. So this is the let's get to the testing part, because that's the most important part of this screencast. So as you can see, this is the live stream. For example, if I click this, in my case, as you can see, it's live. It's live at this point right now. So this is my test criteria. This is my CPU, memory, operating system. So in case you're watching or listening from a podcast, I'll go over my CPU. My CPU is an Intel i7-2600. The memory is 16 gigs of DDR3. My operating system is Fedora Linux Workstation 42. The GNOME 48 is my desktop environment. And this is the test system. So I'm going to test one large file, which is 1 gig human readable text. I'm going to test a regex file, which is text with the word Eclipse IDE or something similar. The syntax files, as you can see here, I have a PHP file, but the PHP file doesn't just have PHP. It has HTML, it has CSS, and has JavaScript. So that will test for multiple syntax in a file. And then for media file, usually I use a smiley face or Tux the Penguin, a JPEG file. The Java version I have is OpenJDK 21.0.7. The PHP version is 8.4.8. The Python version I have is 3.13.3. And the Eclipse IDE obviously is, according to this, is, to find that out, you go to help, about Eclipse IDE, and you can see here the one I'm using is, the version is 25-06, and it's 4.36.0. And you can see the build IDE there. It's obviously built in June of 2025. Okay, so as you can see, the test scoring, each feature has 2 parts. So a score of 0 indicates the missing feature. A part of a feature that works will get a score of 0.5. So meaning that for each part, the highest, it will get a 1. You get a partial score of 0.5 if the feature does work or partly work. If it doesn't work at all, it will be a 0. So the first one is the native. The first one is about the theme. So obviously, as you can see, I said I changed the theme from default. It's a light theme. I changed to a dark theme, and that is very simply. And as you saw in the marketplace, you can also download dark themes if you want. So I like this theme a lot. I think it's even better than the one that comes with the NetBeans. So that got a perfect 1.0. Now, in order to change your themes, as I said before, there are multiple ways to do that. You can simply go to Preferences, and then you can change it. So sorry about this. For some reason, I don't know why it's being so tall. That is really weird. And just hit Apply, or you can get a new theme from the marketplace. Okay, dragging and dropping text file obviously does work. So for example, all these files here, I did drag and drop them, and so I'll prove that to you. So I'll go to my test, go to the test one here. I do have a test in I think it's called review or something. Yeah, here we go. See, I have review. I have the files in here. I think I have another one which I created specifically for, hopefully it's in Eclipse. Let's see, Eclipse IDE, Eclipse. Oh no, I didn't put it here. Can't remember. I think it was editors or something. I do have. Well, I do have it somewhere here. Let me. I might have to take this out of here so I can look a little bit better. So let's see. It looks like I might have to make that up. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Actually, where is this file located? Oh, it's in NetBeans. Okay, that's, I thought so. Okay, it's in the NetBeans one. That's where NetBeans. Yeah, NetBeans. Here we go. Got it. Okay, so it's in it was in NetBeans folder. That's why you can find. That's where these files are. So all these files, I was able to open them. Okay, so dragging and dropping. For example, if I want to open this regex file, you can simply just drag and drop. And where did it drop it? Undo. Let's try that again. It was a little clanky. There we go. There we go. So it opened up. You see the regex file did open up, and you can actually position it where you want to be. So that's a good thing. That's why I got 1.0. So opening a very large file. Now I gave this a 1 because it looked like it was going to crash, and I'll do it again. So I'll open this file. So it looked like it was going to crash, but it actually did open up the file, which blew me away. I was really surprised. So you see, it comes up with this message. Let's get this out of the way. So I thought, oh, it's not responding, it's going to crash. Okay, so what I did was I put wait, and boom, the file opened up. So I was like, whoa, the file actually does open up. That blows my mind because normally the file is not able to open up. Now I think it's doing this because of OBS, but you see the file actually does open up. Now I think I need to, let me close the file, hopefully it doesn't close. Yeah, so close, there we go. So the file is closed, you see it didn't crash. That's why you got a 1. I'm actually, obviously you probably won't be able, if you have more memory, maybe you'll be able to edit the file, but that blew me away that no IDE has ever been able to open a 1 gig file, but it actually did. So I'm proud of that. That's why you got 1.0. Obviously, multiple documents can be opened in multiple tabs, as you can see here, and you can tear them off. So that's also, as you just saw as well. So that got a 1. The problem is it's a little janky, and for example, you cannot tear them off. There's plugins, but I didn't want to install plugins because I didn't feel like testing plugins. That I feel is a feature that should come built in, not having to install a plugin. So as you saw when I was trying to position this regex here, I had to put it here first, then open here. So it's a little bit janky, so that's why it only got a 0.5. Okay, multiple editors can be opened as new tabs. Obviously, yes, we did that here. The window view can be split vertically, yes. So the window view can be split. So for example, this one, as you can see, you can split even just the same file, you can split it. If I remember correctly, yeah, see, this is what I'm saying, it's very janky. I can't drag it. Okay, there we go. Finally, you see it's split there into its own tab. But I say it's a little janky, as you can tell. It's not as smooth as say with NetBeans or others as well. But it did work. Vertically and horizontally, you just saw me do that, and as you can see here as well. Okay, creating non-project files is possible by using the built-in file explorer. So I wasn't able to simply drag and drop, that's why it got a 0.5. You have to use this, you see here this PDF, yeah, so this is how you have to open it up using the file explorer. That is a little bit annoying because, for example, if I have a non-project file, I'd simply just like to drag it instead of having to navigate through the file explorer. That's a little bit slower. That's why it got a 0.5. Soft wrap can be enabled in the editor settings. So the automatic soft wrap for documents is available, as you can see here. Where was it here? Did it turn off again? Okay, so for example, this one, you see the word highlighting. It's kind of so this should actually be on the next line. So you can turn on the soft wrap, which is really annoying. It doesn't remember what I did. So what you have to do is you have to go to editor settings. Where was it? Yeah, so you have to go to, is it preferences again? No, editor. You have to go to editor. So under editor, it used to be here, but then they changed it, I believe, into preferences. This is annoying me here. So under preferences, then you would turn it on there. Sorry about this. I don't know why it's being taller than what I want. I guess it doesn't work. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This used to be a problem in NetBeans as well. It doesn't work very well. Like for example, I split the screen here. It always wants to take up the entire screen. It doesn't work too well. That's another nuisance as well. But it does work. Spell check also works. For example, you can also enable it. So you get 3.0. It has the wavy lines as well. I don't know if I have an example here where I have it working, but it does work. I think I took some screenshots, so it does work. Word count is available via plugin. So that's another thing. That's why I got a 0.5, because I like to, for example, either select the number of words, then it should tell you how many words it is. Yeah, I don't plugin. Plugins have to be maintained, but that's why I got 0.5. Now you can jump to lines. For example, this one here. How many lines is this one? Okay, that's not a very good one. Oh, here's a perfect one. So you see this one has whatever. So here I'll go to line 1. If I press Ctrl L, then you can say 20 in here. You see it went to line 20. I pressed 20. Yeah, it went to line 20. So if you're on a Mac, that will be, you have to, instead of Ctrl L, to be Command L. Alright, so that's a perfect 1.0. Indentation also does work. For example, this is Python here. So for example, if I press enter here, you see it indented properly. It knew that obviously I have a method here, I have a for loop, and it will know where to go next. So that got a 1.0 for the children. Fonts, fonts can be dynamically scaled. The system font can be bypassed with a new editor font, and size can be set. So you got perfect 0. I can't remember, is it the control key? No, is it the alt key? Is it control plus plus? Yeah, control plus plus. You see that's the dynamic zoom. And obviously control minus. There we go, similar to Guinea. Alright, so that's a 1.0. Find and replace does work. It's simply Control F to find, or if you want to do project wide, it will be Control Shift F or Command Shift F if you're on a Mac. And you can obviously use regular expressions. And I did test this out, so it got a perfect 1.0. So for example, here you can see Control F. See, and like if I search for the word edit, you see edit, it highlights all of them. And obviously you can also do regular expressions, or you also search only in the current in the current document, or search selection in the current document as well. So that got 1.0. Now multiple language highlighting, I already explained this. For example, this PHP file, you see I have HTML, I have PHP, and I also have JavaScript as well. No, I do have JavaScript. I do have JavaScript, or CSS. I do have CSS as well. So it does work. Okay, yeah, JavaScript. JavaScript is there. So go 1.0. And then you can also do multiple selection. So this is very, very important for me. So multiple selection, I'll do it right here in the Python file. So if you don't know what multiple selection means, that means, for example, I select this word here, result, and then I hold down, what is it, Alt, left, Alt, and then for example, let's say this word here, print. It's Alt and hold down the Alt key or Command and the left mouse button. LMB stands for left mouse button. I think. Oh, sorry. I skipped number 16. I'll come back to 16. So let's do this one. So as I said, you select, for example, the word try, and then was it Alt? This word here too, and you can see that. So it does work. Oh, it's also called multiple cursors, I guess. And then there's a rectangular block selection. So this also does work. It's simply Shift A, or sometimes depending on your system it might be Alt A. So you might have to be so for example, I'll explain this. It's easier to explain it here, to show it here in this regex file. So what I do is I put my cursor, for example, here, and I hold down Shift Alt. Oh, now maybe put it here. Alt. What is it? Alt A. Sorry, Alt A. So here, Alt A. Shift Alt A. There you go. So that's the rectangular block selection or column block. Alright, distraction free, you can hide the panes, and you can also remove the line numbers if you wish. So that got a perfect 1.0. The file manager, I said, can be used to create or delete folders. Media files can be dragged into the file pane. So for example, let's try that. I have this Tux Penguin here, and this is a simple JPEG file. So if I drag this and put it, oops, I was able to do this before. You see it puts it in here. That's not what I want. Let me actually put it in the pane. For example, this guy PNG file, I'll put it here. There we go. So as you can see, you can open, I don't know why you would want that, but yeah, there you go. Okay. And what else? Terminal. There's a way you can actually enable one with a plugin. And then I've done this before. This has always been with Eclipse, so you can integrate one. And in the past I actually integrated, so I was able to actually do stuff on the remote server as well, with some scripts as well. So I've got a 1.0. So overall, Eclipse IDE got a 92.50% for my use cases. If you want, it's 9.25 out of 10. So now you could say I'm being unfair because I could probably get a perfect score if I use plugins. As I said, I prefer some of those features to be built right in without relying on a plugin. Nothing against plugins. Some plugins are maintained for way over a decade. No problem with that. But I'm just saying that because as you see, sometimes things can be a little bit janky. Like you see, this is a built-in feature that doesn't work properly. Okay, so that's why I'm saying is I want those features to be built in, not to have to rely on a plugin. Now, if it's something like what could be done by a plugin, for example, some things I wouldn't mind. For example, like the word count. If the word count was done by a plugin, that's not a big deal, right? Or I could create my own plugin. But I'm saying is simple things like the file manager, drag and drop. That shouldn't be a plugin. That should be built right into the IDE. For at least that's my opinion, my strong opinion. That should be built in. Okay, so let's finish up here. Sorry about that. Let me get rid of NetBeans. We're actually in Eclipse, so let's get rid of this here. So as you can see, it's actually one of the good things I've always liked about Eclipse. It's actually very pretty. It's a very pretty. You see the fonts are pretty nice. It's way better than, for example, its competitor NetBeans. It's really pretty. That's something that IBM I think got right when they were one of the lead developers of Eclipse. I don't know if they still are, but back then, yeah, that's one thing that got really right. Always looked really nice on any platform. You didn't have to rely on the basic Java, so that's one thing that, as you can see, it's nice, pretty. It loads reasonably fast for an IDE. IDEs are usually slow. So Eclipse is a powerful IDE. By default, the Eclipse IDE any missing required features can be installed by using plugins. For my, as I said before, for my required features, that's the score I gave it. Now, if you're focusing on JavaScript, you can check out my book, Learning JavaScript. It's designed specifically for beginners, covering essential JavaScript concepts and providing practical examples that help you start writing JavaScript code quickly. So you can get my book here. The links are also in the description. It's available on Amazon. You can also search for Eduardo Jambo. Alright, I also have a course. It's also called Learning JavaScript. You can get it on ojamboshop.com. The links are also in the description. And if you need one-on-one programming help, I'm also available for you, whether to set up Eclipse or understanding, for example, PHP, JavaScript, or any other programming language. I offer personalized programming tutorials, whether it's getting Eclipse configured or learning how to write cleaner, more efficient code. I'm available to help. So you can contact me on ojambo.com/contact, basically the contact page. One more thing I didn't show you guys. You see here this books.xml. One thing I do like that Eclipse does is, you see here, it actually puts it up really nicely. I always have to use like Firefox just for this, but if I was using Eclipse, I could simply just, you see here, it grabs everything here, including the children. So this would be very useful. As I said, that's built in. That's a nice feature to have. I never even thought about a feature like that. Now I'm probably going to be demanding this of all my IDEs to be able to do something like this. Very nice. And you see, you can also look at the source itself. So here's the source, and then the design. That is a really good feature. You know what? I should give it a bonus just for having that feature. That's a very nice thing every single day. So you should subscribe so you don't miss the notification when I. All right. Also, as I don't know if I mentioned this, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Thank you very much. So I'm going to end this review tutorial right now.